Today on KUJH News, students and faculty received a suspicious email early this morning. Did this email actually come from KU? And 8 KU students explore a new way to express themselves through dressing in drag. And today was a historic day for KU golf at the Big 12 Championship. KUJH News starts right now.
From the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good evening and welcome into KUJH News. I'm Chloe Cowart. If you woke up to a fishy email this morning about a parking fee and a required court date, you may not be the only one. Some KU students and staff received a message that they were fined, but never who it was from. It turns out the message actually came from the university to test students on whether or not they're likely to fall for online scams. Obvious misspellings gave away the email was fake. KUIT sent the email to 14,000 faculty, staff, and student employees. Some even fell for it.
We also typically see that around 70% of the people who click the link go on to submit credentials, which is why we always strongly discourage people from clicking links in emails where they don't know who sent them or why they were sent.
The purpose of the email was to raise awareness for security on campus. Now, if you receive a suspicious email in the future, forward it to abuse@ku.edu. Lawrence is finally shedding light on an issue that affects many people around the world. KUJH reporter Caroline Burkhart tells us what the city is planning to do about it.
Human trafficking is a huge issue for people globally. Even though Lawrence can't tackle the issue worldwide, they are still determined to find a solution for the city. Let's see how the Willow teams up with City Hall to combat this issue.
Left, right. Left, right.
Human trafficking has globally been a rising problem. People are illegally being transported and sold into labor and sexually exploited every day. Ashton Kutcher has done his fair share of work with this company called Thorn and has helped identify over 6,000 trafficking victims.
As part of my anti-trafficking work, I've met victims in Russia, I've met victims in India, I've met victims that have been trafficked from Mexico, victims in New York and New Jersey and all across our country.
Even though Lawrence may not be able to help worldwide, the city is working to combat the issue locally. The Willow Domestic Violence Center is eager to make sure to find those who are most vulnerable seek help.
If you have grown up in poverty, or if you have had issues at home and you're a runaway, you are more likely probably to be susceptible to that. I think that those are our hardest hit communities.
Many victims are homeless or people who grew up in foster care. Even those who live near a major highway are more at risk of being a victim. However, the Willow is reaching out to locals to inform how they can help fight against this problem.
We do have presentation sessions available and informational sessions available, and we have those both for professionals in small businesses and fields that might come into contact.
If there are concerns of someone who might be a victim of human trafficking, contact the Willow at their 24-hour hotline. Reporting for KUJH News, I'm Caroline Burkhart.
The campus diversity group Spectrum KU hosted its brown bag drag contest at the Union last week. KUJH reporter Lexi Logue was at the event.
Over 60 people in the Lawrence community gathered to watch 8 drag queens and kings perform in the brown bag drag from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the ballroom of the Union.
Being open as a drag queen, it really gives you a platform to speak on, and so it's so important, especially with the climate of our country, to be open and be out, because if we're not, then people will get hurt.
So rise up.
Ray began drag 2 years ago after seeing a friend participate in the event. While participants use drag as a platform to express themselves, there's also another reason.
The idea of what femininity is, or what it should be, is just personified. And so, it's very much a way of activism, really.
Looking to get involved?
I'm the president of Spectrum KU, so we have meetings every Tuesday in the Sabatini Multicultural Center at 7 p.m.
Reporting from KUJH, this is Lexi Loeb.
Around 40,000 people are expected to hit Lawrence at the end of July for the Junior Olympics. The Junior Olympics will be held at Rock Chalk Park from the 24th of the 30th of July. With the massive amount of attendees, Rock Chalk Park is looking for 100 volunteers a day for the event. With roughly 9,500 young athletes participating, some local hotels are already fully booked for the weekend. Redo Your U is asking students to add $50 more a semester to their tuition in order to redo certain aspects of the union. Their plans were previously turned down, but they aren't giving up just yet.
Two students, Quinn Babcock and Colin Cox, have come together with a plan to redo the union, with the overall goal to revitalize the Kansas Union as a whole and to create a change that everybody can see.
There's a lot of issues that it currently faces that I think a lot of students don't really necessarily see. So a lot of it comes down to visibility, transparency, expansion, and dining, retail options, restrooms they're not up to code, ADA accessibility, making the building more compliant to all students so that at the end of the day everyone can come to a place where they feel like they can belong.
Colin has not yet been involved in Student Senate, but says it's something that he now considers getting involved with.
I was not entirely exposed to Student Senate before getting involved with the referendum, and then I never realized how political this was going to become, so that was definitely a new experience to me.
The election has already passed and was turned down, but Colin says the plans are still in the works and they hope to begin on the process here again soon. With KUJH News, I'm Hannah Dale.
Coming up on KUJH News, Trump signs a new executive orders and releases his long-awaited tax cut proposal. We'll also give you a look at changing weather. Stay with us.
We connected so fast when we first met. I think that our relationship will last for a lifetime.
Being a role model for someone, being there for someone, there's nothing I can compare it to. She has uncles up in Minnesota that treat me like I'm their own now.
I feel like she's actually my big sister in a way.
It's been one of the best decisions I think I've ever made.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Today was a busy day in the White House. President Trump signed several new executive orders. One order called Education Federalism Executive Order promises to return control to the state and local level. Another more controversial order would limit presidential power over land for federal protection. This order could affect dozens of national monuments. The White House has also released their new tax proposal. The plan reduces corporate tax rate from 35% to 15%, with an estimated $4 trillion in lost revenue. Critics say the plan will only benefit the wealthy. The proposal will move on to Congress, where they will continue to work on the bill. NASA has discovered a new planet through microlensing. Scientists are referring to it as the ice ball planet. NASA says it has approximately the same mass as Earth and is orbiting a star at about the same distance as Earth. However, it's likely too cold to sustain human life. Microlensing using surrounding stars and cast shadows to discover new celestial bodies. Well, Lawrence has felt like its own ice planet today. Meteorologist Warren Sears has more on this cold front.
Thanks, Chloe. Yeah, so today, actually, we have not been seeing some very nice temperatures out there. Currently 51 degrees. It is very cloudy and it is very chilly. That's not what we've been seeing for the past few days, so this was definitely a bit of a 180. Now, let's take a look at this map that the Weather Channel put out. It is the breathing index map, which is kind of funny. I've never seen this before. But if you see, Kansas is right in the bullseye of poor breathing qualities, which I am definitely feeling right now. It is miserable here. Everything's in bloom, and it's not very good. But hopefully that leaves fairly soon as we head into the month of May. Now let's take a look at that radar out there right now. That system that moved through last night is making its way down into southern Missouri. So we are just seeing some lingering showers here in the state of Kansas, which they are down near Wichita. I would be very surprised if they make their way up to the Lawrence area. So if you see a sprinkle tonight, don't be alarmed, but it's not going to be anything significant. I'm expecting pretty cloudy conditions across the board tonight. 54 degrees at 5 as we head into tonight, 50 degrees and into the low to middle 40s for our nighttime low. Now, tomorrow we are going to warm up tomorrow about 10 degrees to 61 degrees. Tomorrow morning we are going to start clear, but as the day goes on, those clouds are going to increase. That wind is going to be light tomorrow, though, 5 to 10 miles per hour. But tomorrow night, like I said, those clouds are going to increase. We are expecting a chance for some rain tomorrow night, which is going to be possibly after everyone heads to bed. So fairly late tomorrow night shouldn't be that big of a deal on into early Friday morning. Now let's take a look at that 5-day forecast here. Thursday, 61 degrees. We will warm up to 64 on Friday, but unfortunately for that weekend, we are expecting those temperatures to be in the low 50s, and we are going to see a very soggy weekend. So unfortunately, if you have some weekend plans, you do need to bring that jacket out just in case, that rain jacket, the umbrella. And Monday, 63 degrees and sunny skies. So unfortunately for sports, it's looking like this weekend isn't going to be great. Talia, what do you have for us?
Well, Chloe, like Warren just mentioned, the weather is kind of getting away. We have a few reschedules on sports. We'll have those updates for you. But also, the Jayhawks made a little bit of history today. More on that when we come back.
When my youngest, Addie, was 2.5, she was diagnosed with leukemia. The doctor stopped by and said, well, it is leukemia. And then the next thing she said without even missing a beat was, and here's what we're going to do. We are so blessed and lucky to say that she is extremely healthy. I could not be more grateful for groups like the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It was that research that let that doctor say it's leukemia, and here's what we're going to do.
It's not always easy being a dad.
Do you have panda asthma too? Does that run in the family? This is the home of the most priceless kung fu artifacts.
But when you make an effort,
Dad, we're not supposed to touch anything. Oh, sorry. Go along, son.
it's always worth it.
Whoa! Master!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
I am gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Welcome back to KUJH Sports. Today, the men's golf team had their highest finish in Big 12 championship since the 2000. The Hawks finished third behind Texas and Oklahoma State. The team was led by senior Chase Hanna, who is your 2017 Big 12 individual champion. Hanna fought back throughout the day today, birdieing 4 of the last 6 holes to finish the final round even. He went into today being up 7. Hannah mentions the team's growth since he began his career here 4 years ago.
Even last year, we really had just no chance of competing. And, this year we honestly had a chance, and we played a great round today. And, just unfortunately we're a little bit too far back due to yesterday, but, to get third place from where, the team started, 3-4 years ago when I came in is, unbelievable, and really happy for the whole team.
The men's baseball team has now won 10 of their last 15 games after defeating Grand Canyon last night 9-4. The win gave junior Sean Radakowski, who was on the mound for the Jayhawks, his first win since March 24th. Now they are in their second matchup currently. The game started an hour ago. The Jayhawks came up early, scoring a run, but they just went down after Grand Canyon scored a 3-run home run. Now you can keep up with that game on gcu.tv.fans and always audio broadcasted on the Jayhawk Radio Network. The brackets are out for the Big 12 tennis championships as well. Those are set to begin tomorrow afternoon. The number 27 Jayhawks face West Virginia in the first round at 1 p.m. West Virginia is ranked last in the Big 12 Conference, and Kansas swept the Mountaineers back on March 24th, winning 4-0 during conference play. If the Hawks can get past West Virginia, they will play 9th-ranked Oklahoma State Friday at 4 p.m. Now, the departure of Frank Mason, Landon Lucas, and now Carlton Bragg may have had a few fans worried, but Coach Self made sure to whisk those worries away as he landed yet another big-time transfer. Former Cal star Charlie Moore announced yesterday that he will be joining the Jayhawks come next season. Moore averaged 12.2 points and 3.5 assists, starting all 34 games in his 1 year at Cal. Just a few weeks ago, Kansas landed both Lawson brothers who left Memphis, and we also can't forget transfers Malik Newman and Sam Cunliffe, who were already on the bench last season. And now, Warren, like you said, a few of those reschedules. KU Rowing Sunflower Showdown has been rescheduled. A little bit upsetting because of the rain, but it kind of works out for us as it will be Friday at 7 p.m. on the Kansas River now. So that will be at 7 p.m. and there's a public viewing at the Kansas Boathouse. So still might need a jacket, but
just a little change of plans.
Little change of plans. KU fans get to come out and support your KU rowing team now.
Well, in other news, Uber is making it easier for riders to see their own ratings. Riders use a 5-star system to rate drivers, and drivers do the same for the riders. It used to be impossible for those riders to see their own ratings. And then Uber made it visible, but buried it in settings. Now, starting Wednesday, rider ratings will be prominently displayed under their names. Uber says it has made the change to encourage mutual respect. The company also altered how drivers are rated for pool services. Riders can now give the ride a low rating because of other passengers without counting against drivers. Now, Uber hopes those ratings will make it both enjoyable and easier for riders and drivers. Now, I personally like that. It takes forever to find in settings your own rating.
Right, and it's fair, I think, to kind of make those a little bit more public. And
right.
It's more fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I looked and I have a 5-star rating, so no big deal though.
That's all you can ask for.
You're not hurt by this
Yeah,
update.
exactly. Awesome. Well, let's take one more look at that 5-day forecast, and everybody is looking forward to the weekend. Unfortunately, for everyone here in Lawrence, Kansas, this weekend isn't going to be all that pleasant. We're looking at a very strong chance for some showers on Saturday, pretty much an all-day thing, 56 degrees, and into the morning on Sunday as well. We're looking at about a 60% chance of rain. Hopefully that clears out by Sunday afternoon so we can start next week on the dry side. So that is all we have for you guys today at KUJH. Please join us for the next on Friday.